Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be talking about some of the best Dota game combos in the game right now, which would make sense. I just said it's the best game combos. But yeah, let's get into it. So I have mainly just pairings of 2 heroes, but I do have a pairing of 3 heroes in this video that I really want to talk about because I think it's super interesting. It's a great combo, but it requires very specific heroes. So let's actually get into it. On top of that, go sign up to the gameleap website, guys. I'm posting new content over there almost every day, and I'll see you there. All right, getting into the first combo is a combo that we saw a ton in Dream League. I've been also playing it in pubs, and honestly, this combo just seems straight up nuts. It's Alk Pugna. Now, Alk is just a good hero in general in the meta right now. If you know what you're doing, it's a super reliable laner. It has nasty timings, and honestly, it scales reasonably well with correct item builds. And so I think Alk is broken. I think Pugna's broken. Pugna as a 5 right now kind of just does everything. I think it is one of the most reliable heroes in the game. I think you can pick Pugna in any matchups and it's going to be good. Like literally you can play in everything. It feels like you have an answer for almost every single hero. So why is Alk Pugna particularly good? Honestly, I think a lot of it comes down to both of these heroes just being individually good, but the lane is really solid. I would say Alk often lacks a range creep secure. Pugna has that. Alk can play aggressive. Pugna kind of likes that because Pugna chips people down. His attack range, movement speed, and Nether Blast just being a good trading ability allows him to just constantly chip people down. Just this constant poke. And Alk can take advantage of that. He can get kills. I would say Alk's biggest weakness in the game, as the game progresses into the mid and the late game, is his inability to man up to heavy physical damage. Pugna naturally has Decrep. On top of that, Pugna is just a hero that naturally wants frontliners. Pugna just wants people to go in and run in front. That is, of course, what Alk does. He's one of those carries that can actually initiate, and that really enables the game. And the last thing I'd like to say about this combo is that as the game progresses, I would say Alk's biggest weakness is his inability to take objectives. That could be Roche, that can sort of be the Tormentor. Minus armor is good against the Tormentor, so that's not fully true. Alk's reasonably good at Tormentor, but most importantly, the high ground. Pugna's biggest strength as a support is, in my opinion, the laning stage and the ability to push towers. Because now with the siphoning ward facet, you can walk up to a tower, put down your ward, and if you get initiated on, you're probably going to live. You can decrep yourself and you're immune to physical damage, and then the ward basically protects you from magic damage because when people cast spells, it heals you. And so Alk really struggles to siege. He just doesn't do a lot of building damage naturally. And on top of that, if you have to use Chemical Rage to siege, when it's expiring, it's on a 30-second cooldown. It's a 30-second duration, 60-second cooldown. So this is a big gap where you can kind of get initiated on. Alk doesn't really like the siege, basically, is the point. And so Pugna really rounds that out. A good lane, makes stacks, stops you from dying to physical damage, and on top of that, can kind of round out the inability to siege that Alk often has, his inability to end games. And that's why I love Pugna so much with Alk. All right, getting to the next combo, very basic combo from Team Falcons, but I wanted to cover it. DK Hoodwink, pretty straightforward here. It can be safe lane DK, mid DK, even off lane DK for that matter. It's just so nice with Hoodwink. The stun of the stun combo makes the game really straightforward to play, and I can't stress how good these combos are. I know there's nothing special here, but I think it deserves a spot in the video, as it makes the game really easy to play. On top of that, Dragon Knight's main weakness is that he lacks burst damage. Yes, his ultimate gives him attack damage, and that's nice, but he still lacks burst damage. He's very sustainable and has a low cooldown stun, and it pairs extremely well with the low cooldown stun of Bushwhack and the burst damage of Sharpshooter. Alright, getting into the next combo, we have Batrider Terrorblade. What I think is funny about this combo of heroes is it can be played in the offlane or the safe lane. If you guys have been keeping up on the meta, Terrorblade is now being played largely as an offlaner. In fact, I feel like it's being played more as an offlaner than as a safe laner, with the Reflection cooldown talent at level 10, Pipe, and the Shard to enable this hero's kit. So a big selling point of Terrorblade is his laning stage. It always kind of has been, but it definitely is the case now. And the main thing that Terrorblade needs in the lane is someone to basically allow him to get kills. And Batrider is just fantastic at this. Number one, Batrider can save Terrorblade from all-in magic damage combos, right? Or just all-in combos. Terrorblade kind of is low HP, so he can struggle against certain magic damage lanes like a Crystal Maiden Shadow Fiend. Batrider can protect him in lanes like this. Or if it's a weak lane, maybe the Terrorblade's laning against something like Luna that he directly counters, and you just want to be able to all in. The Flame Break pushback and the slows from the Sticky Napalm are absolutely perfect with Terrorblade. It just makes the meta usage actually work. And that's the key for Terrorblade. When you click meta, you want to get something done. You either want to deny 4 creeps and get perfect CS on a wave, or you want to be able to get a kill, and Batrider will absolutely enable this to happen. And then as the game progresses, Terrorblade's biggest weakness is his inability to stun. Now, to be fair, offlane Terrorblade does have a consistent slow in the 9-second cooldown that Reflection is. It's pretty insane, but it still lacks a hard disable. And Batrider kind of covers you on that. I would say Batrider in general with offlaners that lack hard disables is what he pairs best with. I would say heroes like Brewmaster or Terrorblade or even something like Beastmaster where you don't necessarily want to buy Blink in every single game is what Batrider can be best with. All right, getting into the fourth combo, we have Gyrocopter Warlock. I think this is just one of the best combos in the game, and it's a shame we never see it in the pro scene. I'm personally a big believer in Warlock, I have been for a while now, and I even think pros undervalue the hero a bit. Its biggest weakness is that it has a long cooldown, and honestly, Dispel items are a little problematic for Warlock, so I kind of get why the hero is a bit less picked. On top of that, good positioning is problematic for Warlock, and the lower you go, the worse people's positioning is. Like, that's just the case. However, I still think this combo is good. Why? Warlock in the early levels isn't the best, it's not insane, but you want a hero that can take advantage of Fatal Bonds or set up for upheaval. I think this combo has both of those. Flat Cannon with Fatal Bonds is insane. Like wave 1, you just blow up the wave and anyone who gets bonded is going to take 1 billion damage. And everything that's Fatal Bonded will summon an imp, right? And so you just get a ton of imps running at them and it just instantly explodes. So you can't fight the gyro. On top of that, here's another synergy with that. Gyrocopter's Rocket Barrage, it splits damage the more units there are. So you want no units, you want no creeps. So when you Fatal Bonds the wave or you upheaval the wave, if someone goes on gyro or tries to fight this lane, the wave instantly blows up due to Fatal Bonds, and then the Rocket Barrage is 100% damage on the enemy lane. So that's another issue as well. Another thing is if the Warlock wants to skill heal, like a lot of the top Warlocks that I see go max Fatal Bonds, max heal. And Gyrocopter lacks sustain. It's another reason why he likes playing with Io, right? That combo is a really good combo, kind of similar to Warlock in some ways, because you have a heal. Gyrocopter just naturally lacks sustain. He has no lifesteal ability, no sustainability like a lot of carries might. And as the game progresses, it just makes a lot of sense. I would say the mini stun from Golem allows Gyro to man up. I would say upheaval is good with Gyro because you put homing missile down on people, so it's a bit of a stun for upheaval. Not the best combo, but it definitely works, and it also works in the lane. And then Flat Cannon with Fatal Bonds, Call Down with Fatal Bonds. I mean, these are just good combos. It's just one of those pairings of heroes where it makes sense early, it makes sense late. And also Warlock's level 15 talent, the attack speed on upheaval, allows Gyro to siege when often he kind of struggles a little bit with that, so it really does help. And the last thing to mention, I think Warlock with Black Grimoire is the way to go. You want a hero in the lane that's gonna get you kills, that's gonna fight to the death. You know who's gonna do that? Gyrocopter. Gyro is one of the best laning carries in the game. I honestly think it is the best in the game. And you might be saying, what about this combo? What about that hero in this matchup? Overall, Gyro is the best laner in the game across all matchups. Like if you had a spread of like what hero is good in this matchup, that matchup, Gyro just has the best spread. And heroes like Warlock or Veno 5, where they're not the best laners into certain matchups, Gyro kind of just covers for them, and it's also really good with Black Grimoire. All right, next combo is Pugna Storm. I know we talked about Pugna Alk, but basically you just fuel up the Storm. It's just insane. Giving this guy mana, even though they nerfed it back in the day, this combo used to be way better. They made it where the healing from Pugna only gives half the mana, which is kind of funny. This combo used to be completely overpowered. But yeah, the healing from Pugna to Storm is still incredibly good, and just kind of the ability to play with the Storm throughout the game. You can play this incredible tempo with Storm that you just used to not be able to, because in the past, if Pugna tried to follow Storm, he would just die. But now with the Healing Ward, you can just kind of continue to follow the Storm and heal him and follow the Storm and heal him and play this nasty tempo, and then after the fight, you're full HP on Pugna, you're full mana on Pugna because of the ward. It's giving you mana, it's giving you HP, and you can continue to fuel the Storm and fuel the Storm and fuel the Storm. Like, yeah, the old Pugna would be able to heal Storm faster, but it would often kill the Pugna, and the Pugna would run out of resources. He would run out of mana because you don't really get mana back on Pugna. It just doesn't really work like that. Sure, if you're life-draining enemies and you're full HP, you get mana back, but that doesn't really happen in teamfights. You're gonna be losing health. It just doesn't work. And so now this Pugna is this nasty battery for Storm, this constant battery. And yeah, that's really all I have to say. I mean, that's the combo. It's not a laning stage combo. Storm's a mid, but I wanted to put it in. Then we have Clock SF, classic combo, just two super meta heroes. Lasting Presence on SF, the expanded armature of Clockwork are some of the best facets in all of Dota right now. In this combo, I mean, it's as straightforward as it gets. Clockwork stuns people in the lane, it controls people, the SF is naturally going to deal damage to those people, and so what more could you ask for? Shadow Fiend just wants people to protect him, he wants people to control people for him, and Clockwork, I would say, is the best hero in the game. I do think that something like Tusk SF is an overall better lane, but I think in terms of game combo, I would slightly favor Clock SF. especially due to the BKB control that Clock provides in the late game. I think a lot of late game carries want to pop their BKB like some Sven. They want to pop their BKB and get on top of the SF, try to fight him, try to kill him, try to get him out of the team fight, but Clock is going to prevent this. On top of that, I think Clockwork is a much better frontliner than Tusk. Tusk is more of a safe hero, which is fine with Shadow Fiend, but I think Shadow Fiend prefers having heroes that are going to really run in and give vision. And Clock's hookshot is a better initiation tool than anything that Tusk has, right? Snowball is just slow. And on top of that, Rocket Flare giving vision throughout the game allows Shadow Fiend to confidently push towers and take areas because you can actually provide information. These are things that Tusk can't really do. You can say, oh, I can throw shards. You're not throwing shards for vision. It's like too long of a cooldown. And I mean, you just want to save that ability so you can use it for control, right? You're not really going to do that. And so I think Clock SF is a bit better of a combo, even though Tusk SF, if I had to put a second hero, would be the combo on this list. All right, the last combo of the video, which is the multi-hero combo. Honestly, I considered putting 4 heroes in this combo. It could be an entire team comp if I added one more hero, but it is Medusa, Coddle, Storm. Medusa Coddle is a great combo. It has high win rates on Dota 2 Pro Tracker where you can actually look at match win rates and lane win rates of heroes. I think Medusa Coddle is kind of a bad lane. It's like fine, but the game combo is just great. It's pretty straightforward. You give the Medusa mana. You can also teleport to the Medusa and give her mana, which is really awesome, right? With the recall facet on Coddle. And I think the best hero in the game with Storm, with giving him mana, is actually not Pugna. I think Pugna is a much better hero than Coddle. In fact, it's not even close. But Coddle fulfills very specific purposes. He's incredibly good at giving burst mana. This is really good with Medusa. It's really good with Storm. Storm and Medusa naturally have a lot of synergy because Medusa just wants people to stun. Also, Storm Shard is really good at enabling Medusa's early game damage. And yeah, basically Coddle keeps Medusa alive. You're just pumping this guy with mana when he's going high ground. It can't be reduced. There's no mana reduction abilities in the game, at least not as far as I'm concerned. Are there any? Is there a mana reduction spell, like something that messes up Chakra Magic? I don't think so. So it's really the best way to heal Medusa. You know, Pugna is a really good combo with Medusa as well. So Pugna, you can replace Coddle with Pugna in this combo, and it is more meta. But I think the more explosive combo, especially maybe after a patch that's going to tune down Pugna and maybe buff Coddle, is going to be Coddle. And then the last hero you can add to this too is Coddle Doom, which is a really fun combo because Doom's biggest problem is the cooldown on Scorched Earth and the cooldown on Devour, right? And these are both abilities that can be lowered with Chakra Magic. And then if you don't understand how Coddle works, he has this facet called Recall. So when he uses his ulti, he can teleport to people or teleport people to him. And then when that happens, it applies Chakra to both him and the person that he's recalled to, like that he's teleported to him or teleported to. So you can double Chakra Beat. That's the main benefit of Coddle as a hero in Dota right now. It is the best strategy. And so with Doom, you're lowering the cooldown of Scorch and Devour. So you're giving this guy just a ton of Devours. And now he can use Scorch without feeling like, oh, I'm going to use it to farm and not having to fight, because it's a 16-second duration of 35-second cooldown. It's a 19-second window where you just might miss a fight or can't kill someone. And Coddle really does solve this. So yeah, this can be like your entire team comp, and then your pause 5 should just be some sort of hero with a stun, because Doom doesn't really do that as much, and so neither does Medusa, neither does Coddle. So you probably want a Tusk or a Clock to lane with Medusa. But all right, that's going to be all for today's video. I love making these videos. They're always a ton of fun. Let me know what combos you guys have been using in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next one.
And that's all. But remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the gameleap website, where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.